Somebody, mind your business. Look at somebody and say, mind your business and leave my business alone.
We provide identity-related solutions through a diversified scope of services, with fingerprinting and background screening being our primary service. To learn more, just scan the barcode at the top of the screen or visit us at www.mindyourbusiness.com.
All right, we want you to tackle the week like a boss here with us on Mind Your Business Monday, your compass for entrepreneurial growth. So we want you to level up your skills with entrepreneurs who have walked in your shoes and who want to share their wisdom in both personal and professional leadership development. So regardless if you're just starting out or already in the game, this is your compass towards success. So if you like how that sounds, scan the barcode and please follow us on all of our social media platforms, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Ooh, yeah. Listen, today we grew.
We did, and
we grew, yes. And because this is a show about minding your business and transparency, we want to share just how we had to pivot and breathe and pull it together and focus, because something weird really happened. And we don't know what the heck it was.
We do not.
Right? And I mean, was prepared. And see, this is the thing. When you are prepared, something weird happens. It enables you to adjust and shift without freaking out and everything is all over the place. Right? So Facebook is doing something weird. So what we need y'all to do is share this link on your Facebook page. And so we can get people to watch. Okay. And so we're going to roll with it tonight. We got a hot show for you tonight. Farah is back, part 2 of digital marketing. And when I tell you, this is going to be a great discussion on tonight. Some very much needed conversations, and it's things that we think that we don't have anybody to either ask these questions or talk to about. And so she's going to dig into those things. Okay. And, I'm just looking forward to tonight. But before we do, Travis, I'm going to try to make sure I can share this on.
Well, I got to share. I was able to share it to Facebook. And if you do this here and go ahead and let them know that we are live.
Okay.
Not we ate live, but we are.
Well, we ate this because this was, and ain't that what they say when you did good? Like you ate.
At this point, it should be going live from your Facebook page now, since they are tripping. I don't know how to get to your Facebook page, but
all right,
you can do it. And since we have got started a little late, just a little bit. Is it up?
We got to do it again. I don't know how you did
it's coming
that.
From mine, but it's okay. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and talk about.
Here we go. Yep.
There we go.
If y'all click the link, so we shared it to both of our Facebook pages. If you share the link and click it, you can watch it as well. All right, guys. Let's make it do what it do.
Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right.
Breathe. All right. You ready? All right. So, hey. Fingerprint boot camp, right? You want to mind your business and get a business started that's flexible, self-paced, low startup costs. You want to consider a fingerprint business. You'll be like a DMV. And I tell y'all all the time, Google fingerprints near me. I don't care what state you're watching from. I guarantee you it's limited locations you can go to. So that lets you know the demand on this service. Okay. And so you can scan the barcode at the top and learn more about our services. Reach out to us. We'd be glad to answer any questions. This is for anyone that either if you're a notary trying to add services, if you have a trucking company and you got to keep fingerprinting your employees and you tired of spending money on that, we can train and certify someone in-house that'll save you money, time, and resources. Or you just maybe sitting on a bunch of ambition, want to do something, but you're not, you're trying to find something that's in demand because you just don't have a bunch of followers and all this stuff. This is not based on followers. This is based on necessity. Right. All right. So you too will be an approved FBI vendor going through our program. So scan the barcode to learn more about our fingerprinting bootcamp. Also, we have, as you guys know, the secret recipes of an overcomer. So this is a recipe book that is, here I am. So here we go. Right. This is our recipe book. This is, I'm still going to say, the first hybrid of its kind. Okay. Until somebody show me otherwise. So the authors are the recipes. So it's the secret recipes of an overcomer, how to transition from defeat to victory. And we're talking about everything from overcoming invisibility, overcoming codependency, the diagnosis. We had someone who was given 6 months to live. What do you do with that? How do you process that? How do you navigate through that? Overcoming obesity naturally, no surgeries, none of that. Also, overcoming the sheltered childhood, overcoming sex addiction, past trauma, and the loss of innocence. And these authors actually go into some of these stories. One young lady, there was a tragedy with her mom. Another young lady actually talks about her experience of loss of innocence. Another, the lady who overcome obesity, literally how overcoming drug addiction in her past life, then get put on 50 million pills and still trying to manage not slipping back into addiction. Like, these are some real hard facts that these people had to navigate, and they're sharing it with you. In it is an actual food recipe that's inspired by their story. So for example, my story, overcoming invisibility. As a leader, my recipe is love glazed barbecue ribs. Well, ribs protect internal organs, but they're fragile at the same time, right? And of course, the St. Louis style ribs. Go ahead and get your copy so you can get that bomb recipe out of there as well. So scan the barcode, and then we also have Encourage, Strengthen from Within. Again, this is a cute book, but it is not only for women. It helps you challenge yourself to evaluate the issues of your heart, assess the perceptions, motives, and intentions of what you say you believe, renew your mind through the word of God, and embrace the real you. I've been blessed to sell over 2,000 copies of this.
Get yours.
Women's groups, book clubs, church groups have bought these books by the case. So go ahead and get your copy. You can scan the barcode. All right, Travis.
I think we are ready.
We're ready to jump in.
We are ready to jump
in. All
in.
right, y'all. We thank y'all for rocking with us.
Without further ado, Miss Farah Saunders. Hey, Miss Farah.
Welcome.
Hey guys, can you all hear me?
We can hear you. We can. Hopefully you had a great day, and we thank you for your patience and working with us as we work through some stuff so we can get on here live so people can hear this exciting news that you have to share on tonight.
It's all part of the process. It's all part of the process.
And you were so encouraging. And I had to remember real quick, like, this is what she do. She done sing show, she been producers on shows and all this stuff. So this ain't new to her. She like, it's okay. This is part of the. So she talked us down, like, don't freak out.
Talked Arletha down. I was down.
Yeah.
Arletha was up there.
No, I'm sorry. No idea. Give me credit. I did good. I did not freak
No,
out.
you did.
I was talking myself
You
to it.
allowed.
You was
her to talk.
calm. You was calm. You was calm. I was like, it's okay, guys. It's just
She was good.
I had a draw from everybody on here, but hey. All right.
So basically, Miss Farah, from last week, we're pretty much gonna let you flow. We have some questions that we'll be posing on the screen.
Yeah.
Again, for all our viewers, if you're listening, you have any questions for Farah, just let her know. Just send a comment, and if we have time, we can go ahead and get your question up on the screen. But do us a favor, Farah, give everybody, for those who were not here last week, just give a refresher, and then we'll hop in from there.
Yes. So thank you again, Travis and Arletha, for having me on the show. I'm really, really excited to be here for a second week in a row.
Yes.
As you all may know, my name is Farah Saunders. I go by Farah Moniz on all social media platforms. I am the managing partner at Ambiance Media Group. We are a digital marketing and PR firm helping e-commerce brand owners and personal brand owners how to scale and leverage their brands through brand visibility, brand awareness, and ultimately helping them maximize their revenue potential. So I started in the media industry over a decade ago, working in sales at Fox 5, local news in New York City. And then throughout my career, I was able to pivot as a digital producer, working in New York City, Washington, D.C., and Seattle, Washington. And as time went on, I realized that, hey, like, people are really out here killing it in these digital streets. What is this about? How can we make money? And I started helping brands make money that in that way online, and just being themselves and being authentic. So I'm excited to be here tonight, and I'm excited to continue to help as many business owners as possible.
Awesome.
Sound like a plan. But I tell you what, since we've done that, we're gonna go ahead and hop on into it. Starting off with this first with the first question: how to build lead generation and not solely depend on client referrals for service-based and or e-commerce business.
Yes. So that is a great question. I feel like when you are first starting out in business, you're stuck in this phase of like, how do I get clients? How do I make money? Or how do I sell my product? How do I sell my service? And a lot of times it starts off as client referrals, right? You have to put yourself out there. You have to pitch. One client or one customer leads to another, then leads to another, right? But when it comes down to whether you're a B2B business or B2C business, which is business to business, business to consumers, right? I think that client referrals oftentimes will eventually run out, right? I mean, they can last a lifetime, the lifetime of your business, but they're not consistent, meaning, you're not necessarily getting client referrals every single day of the month.
Right.
And as a result of that, a lot of businesses run dry because they depend heavily on client referrals. So when I first started my PR firm, I was pitching myself to brands that I may have worked with in the past, or brands you don't know me, but I'm a big fan of your product. I'm a big fan of your service-based business, and I want to see how I can help you grow in the marketplace. And so with me pitching, yes, it landed client referrals, but that revenue that I was taking from the actual client and then getting the client referral, that would just come, right, randomly, right? Because there's no way to track that. Well, there is a way, but I'll go into that later. Right, that'll come. I would take that revenue and then reinvest it back into lead generation. So I think when people hear lead generation, they're like, oh my gosh, I have to have thousands of dollars per month to spend on paid advertising. And that's not necessarily true. You could start as little as $5 a day with lead generation. If you are a personal brand / service-based brand, I kind of put that in the same category. And or if you have an e-commerce brand, it's important for you to always have your social media set up where at the top of your page, your founder's story is actually pinned. The reason why you need your founder's story actually pinned is because you want to make sure that as soon as somebody clicks on your page, they're able to know who you are, where you're from, what you're about, and they're actually able to learn just more about you and what you do. There, you can take that post and just boost the post on Instagram or any other platform for profile visits. From those profile visits where people are now naturally starting to follow your page or DMing you questions based on the founder's story. In that process, you're able to have a conversation with them in the DMs and close them to say, hey, I would love to jump on a call with you, or what questions do you have about my product? And 9 times out of 10, they are most likely to buy from you because the first thing that they saw was a story about how you started the brand, what you're about, and they're now invested in you versus just invested in the product. So nowadays, like I said before, people buy from people. People don't just buy services or products just because they love the result of the product. That may be the case, but initially they're falling in love with your brand, whether it's a service-based brand or e-commerce brand, because of the person behind it, the story element behind it. So that is the most basic way you could start your lead gen process. And then from there, as a service-based business, it's important for you to have some form of lead magnet or giveaway as an e-commerce business and drive people to those landing pages and actually convert them as leads in hopes to close them, in the near future.
That was good. So just in line with how do you generate leads? What would you say for people who, like in our instance, some people are 100% dependent on social media.
Yeah.
And as we know how fickle social media can be, and their page is either they can't access it or delete it or whatever the case may be.
Right.
What would you recommend for people who really depend on social media?
Yeah, well, I would say, for one, no brand should ever solely depend on social media. Use your social media to obviously build your email list and build your contact list. But the moment that social media decides to go away for any reason, at least you have that email list and marketing list that you've built over time to fall back on. So you can utilize that list to make calls. You could utilize that list to text. You can utilize that list to continuously pitch your services. Because the moment that a post doesn't go viral for you, or your account gets hacked, or for some reason you forgot your password and you still can't access your account to post, at that point you're relying on organic posting to grow your business. And while there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, just keep in mind that the goal at the end of the day is ownership. So ownership of your contacts, ownership of the phone numbers that you've collected over time. I will also say never downplay traditional marketing. I think because now we live in this digital age, a lot of people sleep on mailers, right? Like, the mailers that you get in your inbox, your mailbox. A lot of people sleep on mailers. A lot of people sleep on streaming, platforms for like cable TV ads. A lot of people sleep on sending out voice notes to customers that necessarily haven't been active with you for a while. Like, there's other ways to market your company outside of social media. And I will also go to the extent of having an outbound sales developer. Again, whether you are an e-commerce brand or service-based brand, an outbound sales developer will help you pitch your brand, pitch your product or service to either a B2C client or a B2B client. And what that may look like is, if you are an e-commerce brand that sells, for example, skincare, and your D2C line is, you know, a little slow, right? Your direct to consumer line is a little slow. A lot of times you have brands like Hollywood Beauty, who's not heavy in the D2C market, meaning they don't really sell direct to consumers online, but they're more retail, right? So they pitch to a lot of retailers, wholesalers, in order for those companies to purchase their products in bulk. They're still making a revenue because they've been around for 30, 50 plus years, right? But again, as an e-commerce brand, that's another way. And then if you're a service-based provider, don't be afraid to use artificial intelligence platforms to help scrape leads and get your outbound sales developer to pitch on your behalf, to schedule those consultation calls for you. You have to keep in mind, like, the whole purpose of business is to do income producing activities every single day. The moment you slow down is the moment that your money starts to dry up. And I've even experienced that myself. So you just have to, you know, just be strategic in how you approach your marketing efforts.
That was.
Go
ahead. No, you go.
No. You go ahead. Say what you can say.
That was good, and it made me think just on that subject before we move on. How would I build an email list from my if I'm going live on Facebook and YouTube? How do I build an email list from that?
Yeah, so if you're going live from Facebook and YouTube, you need to have some form of an offer, whether that is something that is free that you're offering, or paid or low ticket paid item that you're offering. I think that, and that free can be scheduling a consultation. Like Arletha, for example, you're great in operations, right? Every time you do this podcast, you need to actually have an ad where business owners can schedule free consultations with you to talk about their challenges when it comes to building out an operations platform within their company, right? As soon as they schedule the consultation, you're collecting, you now have their email address, you now have their phone number. Whether or not they show up to the consultation, you can still continuously contact them days and weeks after. Ultimately, if the person is really struggling in their business, they're going to come to you and say, hey, Arletha, I really want to hire you for operations or building out my operations department for my business, whether it's a small business, large corporation, whatever it is. That is a lead that you generated that you didn't have to really spend money on to acquire, that you can potentially close a $3,500 deal on, right? So just think out of the box. When you're at your zero, you have to think out of the box and understand how to utilize these free platforms to still be able to grow your business.
Baby, you got my hair standing up because I did not think about that.
I saw your face.
You saw my face. I'm like, I did not, because we have freebies and resources. But I did not think about that. Thank you. Will be implemented. Yes, ma'am.
Such a wealth of knowledge she is.
Yes.
Hey, but say this, Farah. Say about the person that says, you know, well, my business I don't need no personal brand component. Why would you say every business needs a personal brand component?
Because eventually things slow down in business. There's all ebbs and flows, right? Business is ebbs and flows, nothing but ebbs and flows. But the thing is, people fall in love with your brand story. If you look at any successful brand, right? Let's take Rachel Rodgers, right? If you don't know who Rachel Rodgers is, just look her up. She's a phenomenal business consultant who was initially a lawyer before, and then now she has a company called Hello 7. She has a business consulting firm called Hello 7, but she's all about helping marginalized individuals build wealth, right? So what does that look like? So she built a community around like her personal brand to help maximize her impact by creating like these group consulting services to help the majority. And then if you want to book with her one-on-one, that's fine. You book with her one-on-one, but you fall in love with her, not necessarily her service. I'm first falling in love with the fact that she's a mom, right? The wife. She struggled just like I struggled with getting through school. She didn't come from, you know, a wealthy family. She's a first generation millionaire, right? There's so many similarities. People fall in love when they start to see themselves in your brand, right? And that's how you're able to convince the person to swipe their credit card, right? They're emotionally inclined, like they're emotionally and vulnerably invested in your story and invested in your success just as much as they want them to succeed, yourself to succeed. Sorry. So the reason why I say that it's important for you to grow your personal brand is because of that reason. When there are times where you have slow months, you can always lean on storytelling to pull on the heartstrings of your audience to help you convert them into more dollars, to help your following convert into more dollars. From an e-commerce standpoint, and I just had this conversation with one of my clients who I've been working with for like 3 years now. They're in Target and they sell on Amazon. So they do pretty well. But their issue is, how can we stand out, right? How can we stand out in the crowd? And I said, well, your brand, your e-commerce brand needs a personal story element to it, right? There's no person that shows the characteristics of really what your audience is looking for. Like there's no person that's fully invested in that character. Whether it's you or someone else, you have to give us a story. You have to make us fall in love with you even more to continuously help your brand grow. If you look at during the times of COVID, it was so easy for businesses to make money. You didn't have to work for it. People were just sitting at home on their phones, wanting to spend their stimulus check, wanting to invest in Black business. There were so many initiatives going and being marketed. So you didn't really have to necessarily be invested in the story, right? You didn't really have to work as hard as a business owner to get dollars. But nowadays, people are smarter, right? So what is the brand element? If you look at Nike, you don't see the CEO, but you see the stories of Serena Williams, right? You see the stories of LeBron James. You see the stories of Kobe Bryant. You still see yourself, a part of yourself in these athletes that are marketing another brand. So the key to this is build a personal brand element within any business that you are offering.
You know, that's something I just heard another young lady. She's actually on TikTok, and she was trying to encourage people to not lose themselves. This very thing you're talking about. She said you don't want to get so into selling every product that somebody brings to you, that you actually lose those people who just watched you because they liked you.
Yeah.
And it's like every time you come on, it's like you lose your diehard followers, because they were purchasing things basically because of you, but they were really engaged because of you, because of your person, because of your brand. And if you get to the point where it's just like, okay, well, every product they send me, I'm gonna have you sell it. If she said, if you're gonna do anything as far as with selling things, let it be something that you actually believe in, you actually use,
right?
And then don't just flood them with every time it comes on, it turns into the shop. Right. And that's what I hear resonating when you say that. It's like people get connected to you because of your story, and you don't want to lose that.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with selling. Like there's nothing wrong with every single day, but there's a difference between a hard sell and a soft sell, right? That's another way. It's like you can be discreet and still sell into your customers without coming off salesy.
Listen, all of this, when I say right where we are, and us having to stand in our truth, own our process, you know, we talk a lot about not looking at everybody else and what they got going on and measuring your development of your baby,
right?
You know, and because everybody think they baby smart because they know how to pick up a remote and work a tablet, but the baby only know the songs because they heard them but can't identify letters. Don't you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And oh, my baby's smart. So I feel like because I refer to my business as she,
Right.
like she, like a whole
Person.
and developmentally, I did not start off with capital. So
Right.
mine is not going to look like the person who was blessed to get this
Mhm.
grant to start their business. I didn't start off with a bunch of credit cards.
Mhm.
We literally was boots to the ground, every penny
Mhm.
pumping into our
That
business.
part.
So I'm glad I had the wisdom to not do that
Mhm.
and still had to manage those feelings and remind myself
Yeah.
not to, because as you get going and it's looking like it's going good, but certain you don't seem like you're getting the support and you feel like you're not getting of the visibility. So then
Yeah.
you start looking, well, maybe I should do, and there you go. So I just want to encourage y'all, listen, ever since we started this show, I've been telling y'all is a lot of, I have a large capacity to do things,
Mhm.
but when I know my jam and I know when I didn't reach my capacity, and I've been transparent with that. I'm a person, most of the things I try, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. It just turned out because I understand certain aspects of business, and
Right.
operations is my superpower,
Right.
systems, workflows, things like that.
Right.
I just naturally do it. And then when I talk to an expert like Farah and she started saying stuff, my brain was going in a direction that I didn't even know was a thing. So she just put a word to, like, that's what this is. So now that just solidify that. And baby, it's going to be implemented now that I know this ain't some little wild idea that's in my head that I don't know if it work or not. And then I'm embarrassed by my real life situation that I don't want people to know this or that. And what you're saying is no.
Yeah.
They want to see, do you take any L's? Like you said last time. Do
Yeah.
you take any L's? Yeah, I see you hit 6 figures, 7 figures, but have you ever had a month where you don't make no money?
Right.
What
Right.
did you do? How did you manage those emotions and thoughts and stay determined and encouraged? So I just want to encourage y'all, listen, these are growing pains, for I know for us,
Mhm.
and we're going to continue to be transparent, and you guys are going to see a little more into who we are and what we do, because it's an uncomfortable, vulnerable space for us because we're very private,
Very.
Yeah.
which has kept me off of social media.
Yeah.
I'm doing certain things, but all right, I know I got to do it.
You have,
So
have to share. You have,
yeah,
yeah.
to be about what we talk about.
Right.
And you can still be private. You don't have to necessarily share
Yeah,
everything, right? But it's okay to say, like, hey, we took an L this month. We know what we made last month wasn't necessarily like, yeah, I don't know, but like this, I would say since I started my company, Q probably mid Q1, probably from like March to this point, it's been the ultimate struggle right now for me and my company, right? And I know the reason why is because my focus, right, is off. Um, I agreed to focus primarily on one particular brand, help them scale, while not necessarily leaving my other brands to the side or going after new business. Is just my focus, right? So whatever you focus on tends to grow. But I will say having supportive team members like my operations manager, my brand account manager, my copywriter, my social media manager, right? Those are people who are still operating on with other brands while I focus on this one particular brand. They're still like helping the business run and go so that when it is time for me to jump back into really every day hitting those income producing activities hard, I could just pick back up where I left off because I have a supportive team, right? And I feel like it is important for you to communicate with your winning team of what's going on within the business. They don't necessarily have your team, whether it's you or 5 other people or you and your husband, like it's still a winning team, right? Like, hey, this is what's going on. This is where I'm falling short. I can only give 40% this week because of X, Y, and Z, and be like, all right, I got your other half. I got your other 60. I got you. That's how you just keep going and putting one foot in front of the other. And I will say to your point of just having blinders on, like you can't focus on what this podcast or that person is doing yada yada yada. It's like I'm running my own race, and
Right.
you're going to rush me because honestly, there's no age limit or time limit to when my time is up to making, an impact. I think
Right.
like the average millionaire or billionaire is like 50 plus, to be honest,
Mm.
right? So
Mhm.
it's like we got time on our side, but we just got to keep going.
Yeah, that was good. Because my whole thing, I always like to make sure I have a solid foundation. I don't want a shaky foundation, but the structure looks good. But one hard wind, one storm, the whole thing
Collapse. This
collapse.
is true.
Mhm.
And so just trying to learn as much as I can. And the biggest challenge is not even like software and things like that, is me settling into this space
Mhm.
and being okay with it laying low,
Yeah.
so and keep it in mind, do this now so you ain't here and then got to come trying to backtrack
Yeah.
and fix the foundation.
Sometimes you gotta slow down in order to speed up.
And that's where we literally are right now. So this was awesome.
It was.
Yeah, this was awesome.
You may have mentioned it. We got time for one more question before the end of the hour. And you may have mentioned it, but for so many people who may be saying, "Hey, I don't have any money. What do I do?" Excuse me. If someone is at $0 in their business, what advice would you provide to begin generating revenue?
Yeah. So, okay, so I'll start with the service-based side of things. When you are a service provider and you have $0, and that doesn't necessarily mean like you don't have a savings or you don't have a consistent paycheck. I mean like you live on a tight budget,
Right.
and you don't have like any wiggle room to really give $500 to $2,000 in order to start up a business. So what I would highly recommend for my service-based providers is figuring out, for one, what's your avatar, who's your audience, right? Who do you want to serve? And then determining like where the people you want to serve actually go. What do they do, right? So for example, if I'm going after, let's say I'm going after let's say I'm going after women in tech. I'm a PR firm. And let's say I want to help women in tech build their personal brand so that they can reach the CEO level of these like corporate tech companies, right? So now every week, I'm going to go to a tech networking event every week, whether it talks about tech sales, whether it talks about engineering, whether it talks about tech startups. I'm going to a networking event that is solely focused on tech to actually connect with people who are in the industry, tell them what I do, how I can help them grow within their careers, and then follow up on all those individuals, on all those leads that you connected with at the networking event.
Mhm.
But even better, if you're in that deep conversation with that individual for more than 5 minutes, I would try to get a schedule, like get a date on the calendar right then and there.
Mhm.
And then, you could follow up with them, have that conversation with them, and close them that way. I really do think so. The network for sure, the networking events for sure. And then two, there are platforms like, for example, Apollo or LinkedIn, free platforms that you can scrub different leads within different industries that you're looking to go after. So I would utilize those contacts to then also pitch myself and send out those follow-up emails and set up my email sequence to go out that way. So if I'm starting at $0, like there are one, free platforms where I can scrub my leads, and then two, in person is always good. When I started my PR firm, I was finding business expos within the DMV area, and I would just attend, and I would purchase brand. Like, for one, I really can't work with a brand that I don't like. That's just me. Like, if I do not either like the person or product, I can't work with them.
Mhm.
So what I would do is go to the business expos, and I would purchase the products of brands that I actually liked, and I would talk to them about their product, tell them a little bit about what I do, purchase the product. Whether it turns into a business opportunity or not, I would purchase the product to support, because I know how hard it is, and then follow up with them at a later date. And then out of 5 people that I probably met at that business expo, 2 to 3 of them turned into actual clients, right? Conversations. So the power of networking is so real. People sleep on it. I didn't understand the power of networking until probably 5 years after graduating college, and I really never had to interview for a job again because my reputation and work that I've done spoke for itself. So that's the side of the service-based side. The e-commerce side, when you're starting at $0, nowadays there are free platforms, obviously TikTok, Instagram, whatever, but really look into the free resources within those platforms. TikTok now, for everybody who may not be aware, is becoming like the next Amazon. So they have a platform called, they have a section called TikTok affiliates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where if you start posting about the product that you're selling, let's say again, it's a skincare brand, facial wash or whatever, you're showing how to utilize the products. You may have a good, make a good batch at home and you could whip up like 10 samples or whatever. I will go after, invite people to my affiliate platform, send those products out to those affiliates to start creating content for you and make a deal with them and say, hey, every product that you sell, I'll give you 10%, 20% commission. And that way you're not really spending money on acquiring a customer. Everything is just acquiring itself at that point. You're just paying out the affiliate whatever is in your profit margins, and you can take the rest home. So I would start there when you really have like a zero advertising budget.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great information.
You know what? And some of these networking events are expensive.
They're free. I've never paid for networking.
Child, maybe because I'm in DFW, I'm sure there's free ones. I just haven't come across them.
Yeah.
But they are like $150, $75. And if you go into 2 or 3 of them and then you get invited to these outings and they want to take you where it's a plate to eat $60. I'm like, look, okay, we're gonna have to go to the coffee house because I can't keep popping these $50, $60, and then y'all too drunk to even have a conversation with me
and remember it.
Right. But yes, ma'am, that is definitely a goal. Yeah. And as you know, because we've been talking, that's one of my to-do things, to start getting back out networking and getting back amongst my peers and just let them know what I do.
No, for sure.
So, yeah.
Okay. So this was another one down. Another one bites the dust. But just like Farah has given us so much great information, Arletha, let's talk about these people who may have something else to share. They may have something themselves that they want to share.
Listen, we would love for you to be a guest on our show. We want you to scan the barcode, either one of them, but the one that's directly on the graphic takes you directly to the link to inquire about being a guest on the show. What's awesome about Mind Your Business Monday, yep, we love success stories, but success stories to us don't mean the fattest receipt. Right. It doesn't mean the most followers. It means what do you have of substance that can be shared with our community that when we hang up or log off, somebody can go implement what you just said. Like, honey, I'm looking for networking events. I'm going to create a free consultation. I literally didn't think about that. It's things to do when you come. If you have that type of information and would like to come and share with community, we then send you leads, as Farah is talking about. These are free leads for an hour of your time to come on this show and share. Everybody winning, right? Scan the barcode. And if you have been in the position we have where it seems like you don't have support, well, you're lying after today, because we got a whole Mind Your Business Monday community that want to hear you, that'll share your stuff, that want to listen to you, that'll watch your videos, that'll watch your TikToks and all of that. Okay, we are here because we need what you got.
Yeah.
All right. So scan that barcode. You can scan the ones on the top of the screen right now and be a guest on the show. All right. So we have some special for all our viewers, and I'm going to let the woman of the hour share what that is.
Yeah, so if you go to my Instagram page, Farah Moniz, if you click the link in bio, there is a few offers, one of them being the digital PR playbook. There is a mistake. This is not free. However, it's only $29. But in the digital PR playbook, it basically outlines templates that you can utilize to reach out to affiliates. You can use templates for your press release that you want to write, your personality pitch, your e-commerce pitch, basically all things around digital PR and marketing to like help you get started. And then if you want to book a free consultation with me, you can absolutely do so. All the information is in the link in bio.
All right, and sorry about that mishap. The freebie is $29. It's still a steal.
Yeah.
All right.
It just ain't. It's just $29.
It's
Right.
It's just $29.
Right.
Go a long way. I tell you that much.
Yes, it can, especially when you getting how loaded that playbook is.
Yeah.
Okay, just think about it. $29. One pitch could change your whole life.
This is true.
One pitch or one presentation or whatever. So
Yeah.
get your playbook, book your consultation, because I did mine today, and I got some planning to do. So yeah. I'm excited.
So again, we thank Ms. Farah for being our guest this second week in a row.
Thank you.
And I believe she's going to be with us for Boardroom Blitz, right?
I should be.
We'll confirm. We ain't going to put on the spot. So we ain't going to put on the spot. Y'all know every third Monday is Boardroom Blitz, is the game show.
Mhm.
And you see how she called off different acronyms. I think DDC.
D2C,
D2C, B2C,
B2B,
B2B, and some of those you guys have heard before, but she threw out some new ones today. What is PR? So those will be what we're gonna be quizzing y'all on, and you're gonna learn, and she's gonna just go, if she can come back, go a little deeper into what just deeper in explanation, so you still learn it, and you'll win a trip. The contestant who wins the most rounds win a trip anywhere, pretty much anywhere in the world. But we'll talk more about that. If you've been watching, go watch one of our previous Boardroom Blitz, and you'll see how it goes. So
we over 50 shows now, right?
Yes, I think we're probably like 51, 52. Yes,
have enough for you to go and watch.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. So we'll see if she's available. If not, we're still going to be on the same subject, and she'll just approve the information, make sure it's accurate.
I should definitely be here, but I will definitely double check my schedule.
All right. Yes, ma'am. We appreciate it. So
we thank you so kindly.
Thank you so much
being with us. Well, another one bites the dust, y'all.
Yes.
We thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, we'll always be here in the community, sharing this great information, still bringing people on that's giving out this information that we all need and may not know we need.
Yes.
But it's finding out that we need. You good?
You did a great job today.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Thank you so much. You did too.
Thank you. I tried.
You're my number one supporter.
And is.
And is.
And is.
Well, as we always say, listen.
Tell them. Just say it.
I'm back right. We want you to know that growth does not have to be complicated. Sometimes it's just about seeing opportunities where others don't. Sometimes success is just about seeing opportunities where others don't. Sometimes success is about seeing opportunities where others don't. That's what makes you unique, what you see. Mm-hmm. That's what makes all of us unique, what we see. It's not about seeing what somebody else sees. See what you see. Success is a journey, not a destination. So what we're going to all do is going to keep moving. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep improving. And until next week, thank you guys for hanging with us 4 minutes after the hour.
Yep.
Thank you. Until next time, remember, to
mind your business.
So we thank you guys, and we will see you all next Monday.
Yep.
Somebody mind your business. Look at somebody and say, mind your business.